My name is Daniel Scott with UDAYA.com, and this is Average Yoga, a series of easy-to-digest online tutorials designed specifically for people who don't do yoga yet. Take what you like, leave what you don't, go at your own pace, and learn to build your practice from the ground up. Okay, so the focus of this next video is going over the basics of breath in a yoga class. Now, if there's one thing I think everyone can agree on is that if you ain't breathing, you ain't moving. So yoga class, absolutely no different. And the focus of this next video specifically is two different types of breath, the Ujjayi breath and the full yogic breath. Let's translate that a second. So Ujjayi breath is a victorious breath in Sanskrit. I think they named it that because it's the same sound if you were trying to make an impression of being in like a big arena. It's like this, but in the back of your throat with your mouth closed. We'll go over that later. The second, the full yogic breath, is really a three-part breath that just utilizes all parts of the lungs and diaphragm from the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. So if you look at breath as the bouncing ball at the bottom of the screen that keeps pace within the class, you want to have an audible, focused, and deliberate breath when you do it. So the idea is that it's the metronome that sets the pace for your movement throughout the class. And so let's start with the idea of an Ujjayi breath. Before we do that, let's get comfortable so we can breathe easy. I think that's the most important place to start. Me personally, I grab a bolster because I have one. At home, you might roll up a blanket, sit on a pillow, some phone booths, an old 24-pack of beer. Don't know, don't care. Get yourself into a nice, comfortable position so that you can have the knees bent comfortably. You can sit back so your hips and your shoulders are stacked. If you need to put more padding, super great. You can have your hands on your thighs. So the idea for the Ujjayi breath is learning how to breathe in and out of the back of your throat so that there's an echoing sound. So in the beginning, if you're just trying to make that fogging of a mirror type of breath, like, it's that inhale and exhale with the mouth open. We could do it together, so it would look like this. And again, if you want to make that sound of people cheering in the back of your throat, that also works. Yeah, Daniel, you're so awesome. That's what I think when I practice. You can put your own name in there. It's awesome. The idea is to get that swirling breath in the back of the throat and then be able to do the same thing with the mouth closed. So if you inhale through the nose, exhale, open mouth, and then close your mouth halfway through the breath, you'll be able to keep that swirling going on in the back of the throat. So it looks like this. And as that second part of the breath with the mouth closed happens, you can feel or even hear a swirling in the back. So you work on the exhale to begin, and then you can try to do it on the inhale as well. So it would look like this, inhaling through the nose, and then trying to inhale the same way with the mouth closed. You know you get it right when you start to sound like Darth Vader. So try it one more time at your own pace, in your own time, feeling comfortable, shoulders over hips, inhaling, exhaling, maybe through the nose to begin, exhaling out of the mouth, inhaling through the mouth with a closed mouth, and then over and over until you're done. Now, I could do this for hours on tape, but it's really not going to help you. You guys need to hit pause, try it at home until you feel like you have something working out. And then remember, you're never going to stop breathing until you don't care about breathing anymore. So you might as well think about having this in the back of your head as you go forward in your home practice or in class. Most importantly, when you bring awareness to the breath, everything tends to slow down. So there's no need to rush when you're doing this. Go at your own pace and in your own time. So moving from the Ujjayi breath to the full yogic breath is pretty simple. You can keep using the Ujjayi breath, but it sometimes helps to have the breath in and out of an open mouth so you can really focus on how to use the different parts of the lungs. So take your fingers interlacing just like this, like you're making a little sort of like, I don't know, waffle fence. The waffle fence, trademark it right there. Put it over your navel. And then what you want to do is just in the beginning, breathe so the belly pushes into the hands and splits the fingers wide on the inhale. And then on the exhale, draws them back together. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling, And just focus on filling the belly in and out, spreading the fingers wide, and then bringing them back in. Now I'm really pushing hard in the beginning to exaggerate, and pulling in on the exhale also to exaggerate, so that my brain starts to train itself to work with that movement. So after a few inhales and exhales through the belly, you're going to start breathing into the belly and then move the breath into the ribs. So inhaling into the belly and then into the ribs. And you feel the ribs start to spread towards the thumbs. And on the exhale, from the ribs into the belly. So again, the exaggeration helps. Inhaling belly into ribs, exhaling ribs into belly. Now the whole time, if you're tensing up and you're holding energy in your body, there's a good chance you're not breathing fully. So use this opportunity to use the breath, to relax, to soften, and to focus on what's going on inside. That's 2 parts of the 3-part breath. Let's go to the third one. Into the belly, into the ribs, and then into the chest on the top of the breath. And then exhale from the chest to the ribs, into the belly. If you're finding out that you don't have enough breath to get there, just do 2 parts, or even just do 1 part. The most important thing is that you breathe. So trying again from the belly, inhaling long, into the ribs, into the chest, exhaling from the chest, ribs, belly. If you find that you can't do it all just from the nose, you can mix between the nose and the mouth. Just like anything, a little practice goes a long way. You can use the Ujjayi breath as the basis for that full yogic breath. And you can use a regular breath as the basis for the full yogic breath. But the most important thing is you have to breathe. Why all this to start with? If anything, you're going to go to a yoga class and the teacher might say something called pranayama. Now, pranayama is the yogic study of breath. It's the yogic science of breath. We don't need to go too far into all the different parts of pranayama, because all it is working on bringing awareness to movement through breath. So if you have a strong awareness on your breath, you might have a deeper connection to the movement that breath supports. You don't even have to be at a yoga class. You can be in the car, be at your desk at work. You can be in line at the DMV, playing a video game. In fact, if you start to rage quit and you really want to throw your controller, don't do that. Hit pause. Take a few deep, full yogic breaths, maybe even an Ujjayi victorious breath to show how good of a player you are. Bring yourself back to what you're doing and let that be the basis for everything that you do. Remember, it's the bouncing ball at the bottom of the screen. It's that metronome that sets the pace. And it's that one thing we all have from birth until not birth that we share. So remember, deep breath, happy breath, focused breath. Good job. Nice job. So, how'd all that land for you? Hopefully it sparked a fire. And if you're looking to fan the flame, head over to UDAYA.com and enter the promo code AVERAGE JOGA, JOGA. You're going to have access to a lot more classes from myself and a host of amazing teachers from around the world of all shapes, styles, and colors. By all means, let this serve as a great foundation to build a home practice on that you can have for the rest of your life. Enjoy, enjoy.